Please introduce yourself.
I'm Adrian Cruden from Kirklees Green Party. I was the coordinator for Greener in the referendum in Yorkshire and Humberside. However, although I was very disappointed with the result of the referendum, I think it's time that we really need to accept that we are leaving the European Union, and that we need to, rather than focusing on in some sort of way fighting a rearguard action such as the Lib Dems are doing, we should be actually outlining our case for a Green Brexit and how we can move forward to have a better type of society. The European Union as a concept is something which I'm certainly very much in favour of, but in reality it has become something of a behemoth. It's very much geared more at multinationals and supporting big business rather than people and consumers and workers. So I know that we talk about in the Greens that it's very important that we protect workers' rights, freedom of movement and so on. But the thing is that we can have these things without still being in the European Union or the single market. And I am aware that particularly at the moment, having access to the single market and still being part of the single market seems to be a focus for many Greens. My argument would be is that the single market is actually in one sense the worst part of the European Union. It's the free market part, it's the free trade deal bit. And just as we have opposed things like CETA and TPP, which were free trade deals with the United States and Canada, having a single market free trade deal with the European Union post-Brexit is really just going to be repeating the things that we were concerned about with these other trade deals. And I mean, at the end of the day, free trade deals are essentially about big business dodging the taxes. It's not something which actually helps people. What it does do is it creates a faster flow of manufactured goods and moving them around the world, transporting them around the world, which is raises all the issues of unsustainability and pollution, which we as Greens have always been very opposed to. So what I'd like to see instead is that we are focusing instead on say, arguing that we need to start to relocalise our economies, and that Brexit gives us an opportunity to do that. Maybe to protect some fields of industry, maybe to subsidise some sectors which need to develop further, and which at the moment would be held back by a lot of EU regulations about subsidies. We are now free to look at doing that, and so I think rather than being almost left in a sense of Me Too with the Lib Dems on another referendum, let's be talking instead about how we can start to develop a different type of green, sustainable society with fairer employment practices, with a citizen's income, with shared ownership of industry, and actually we need to start looking at the whole way in which the economy is structured if we're going to have a society and an economy that is fit for survival and sustainability throughout the rest of this century, with all the critical issues that face us around resources, resource depletion and global warming.
I understand. I mean, do you think the single market is reformable in a green way?
Well, I would question what is an international green market look like? I mean, the single market is about transporting goods from perhaps Bulgaria or Latvia, manufacturing there and selling them to us here. Now, I'm not against all forms of trade. There will always be things, speciality things, which it'd be nice to get from another country. But there are so many things which we no longer manufacture because things have gone elsewhere, not necessarily to Bulgaria, but to other parts of the world, actually even further afield, to places like India and China. I mean, China is actually, we complain about China contributing to global warming. The main reason for that is that China is actually producing a lot of the goods that used to be produced in the West. So if we are going to start to relocalise our economies, I don't actually see an international single market or international free trade deals as playing constructive parts in that. I know that a lot of Greens are concerned about the xenophobia that has accompanied Brexit, and I certainly am as well. I live in a very multicultural, multinational area, and people are very conscious of that here. But we can have open borders, we can have respect for multiculturalism without needing to be engaged in the single market.
Thank you for that, Adrian. Any final thoughts on the subject?
Well, just that I hope that the Greens won't get too bogged down in focusing on the single market as some sort of dogmatic icon of where we stand on Europe. As I say, I supported things like another Europe as possible, but really where we are now, we're no longer at a point where we're going to be able to reform the European Union, so let's make the best possible way forward for a green and sustainable Brexit.
Thank you very much, Adrian.